All right, this is First Off in My Opinion. I'm Tom Swoop. I have the lovely Lauren in the building today. Lauren, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm gangster.
Oh, I like that response.
Yeah. So I follow you on social media.
Okay.
You had made a post not too long ago that I thought was pretty interesting.
Which post?
It was like you posed a question to the ladies, and you were like, "Ladies, when should you shoot your shot? When should you shoot your shot?"
Mm-hmm.
Why did you feel like you needed clarification on that?
I think the one you're talking about, it was like asking about like if someone hearts your stuff or like someone hearts an old, I think that's what I said. Someone hearts an old picture. Is that them shooting their shot? Is that the one you're talking about?
A guy shooting their shot with you?
Yeah.
No, I thought you were trying to shoot your shot at a guy, not knowing when it was time to shoot your shot. Do you shoot your shot a lot? Do you feel comfortable to shoot it?
Do I personally know? Oh, I do know what you're talking about. And no, I don't usually.
Why?
Because I just don't like. So the post you're talking about, I do. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, do it, girl. I do it. It always works. I do that." And I feel like I don't because in my head I've been programmed to think that a man goes after what he wants. So like if I shoot my shot, then I'm like not allowing him to be the man. I don't.
But you're an entrepreneur. You're a strong mother.
Mm-hmm.
You're a leader.
Yes.
So why in this realm of you being a shot caller in every form or fashion of your life, you choose not to be the shot caller?
I think personally, I don't want to be the shot caller in my relationship. Personally. So like I want my man to lead, and I feel like if I initiate that, then I'm setting the tone, and I don't want to set that tone.
All right, so the guys that you've been with in the past, are these top tier gentlemen?
It's been a mixture.
Mixture?
A mixture.
What is your shot? What is your decision making? What would you give yourself out of a grade?
You know what? I will say this. I'm gonna say I'm a strong C.
Yeah.
A strong C, because I've had some where I'm like, this is really nice. And I've had some where I'm like, what in the heck were you thinking? So, yeah.
You know something? I think we all probably a C.
Yeah, okay.
I just think the consequences are different from men to women.
Oh, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I mess up, I'm paying child support somewhere. If you mess up, you raising a whole child.
Absolutely.
And that's really not fair. But
I agree.
it's the world, so you're an esthetician.
Yes.
All right. This is where the show gets funny.
Okay.
So, you have seen all manner of cooter. What's the weirdest cooter you've seen?
The weirdest cooter I've seen?
Yes.
Okay. So you know how like they would post that picture where it's like it's like a vagina, and then there's like the vagina with like the flappies hanging out.
The
They call it roast beef. Yeah.
A roast beef.
I saw one in person. It blew my mind because I've seen the picture of the roast beef, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
So until that point, you never saw a roast beef.
Never saw a roast beef.
I have seen numerous roast beef sandwiches.
Crazy. And
I have seen Arby's.
I've been waxing for 7 years. One. So I don't know, maybe that's something that women are insecure about, so they choose not to come and get waxed.
That's what I was just about to say.
But one, and it blew my mind. I was like, oh, okay. And
so I got a story that I'm gonna drop on the channel probably this week where I get a little even wincy when I think about it.
No.
I was messing around with a girl, beautiful, gorgeous, and we met at the gym.
okay.
And so we exchanged Apple things so we could do the Apple Fitness Challenge.
Okay.
And so she texted me and she was like, so what do I win when I win? And I was like, I'm thinking dinner, anything. I'm like, dinner, whatever you want to do. So she's like, whatever I want to do, right? I'm like, okay. She said the winner gives the other person head.
Oh, okay. Like,
And I'm like, this escalated quickly, you know what I'm saying? And so I lost.
Lord.
And of course I'm thinking I'm gonna have to give her head. She comes over my house, says she gives me head.
Oh, okay.
And then, she stands up and I guess it's my turn.
Right. Oh, no.
And I looked, and when I tell you, she had the biggest clit that I've ever seen. Like it was an eggplant. Like, I mean, I thought it was a man. No,
Oh my God.
That's why I asked you the question I asked you, because have you ever seen like a huge clit?
Never seen that.
It was huge. Like, I'm talking like maybe like a thumb size. Like, but then you have to remember, clits are made out of erectile tissue.
Yeah, it's like the same thing, just inside. Yeah.
And did you know they can be up to like 3.5, 4 inches?
You know what? I've heard. I've never seen that.
And I was blown away.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm not sucking your, no, I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm not doing that. No, I'm not getting down on that glizzy. No,
Yes.
I'm not. And the first, but I think if you know you have a baby penis, you need to tell somebody ahead of time.
The disclaimer.
Yes.
The disclaimer. I mean, that's fair.
It is. It's
fair.
very
That's
fair.
fair.
Like,
I agree.
you should not put somebody in a situation where they're now staring at something that they've probably never seen before.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. Women get dick fished all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
But you know you're going to see a penis.
This is true. I mean, I don't know what I'd do if I was like, oh, and there's a vagina. Like, what?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So what you doing is, are a lot of women going back to the bush?
You know what? I don't know. I'll say this. In my line of work, right? It's definitely I call it a luxury service, right? Because not everyone gets waxed.
Let me ask you this. Do you find that people who used to activity down there get waxes on a normal basis? Basically, single women come see you more than married women. No?
No. I'll say, actually, for me, married women tend to be more consistent because their husbands get used to it, so they want to maintain it. And single women sometimes be like, well, girl, I ain't getting that right now, so it may be a little while in between me seeing them. Or some single women are like, girl, I don't care, he get what he get. So.
Any crazy piercings down there? Because I've never understood that.
No crazy ones, just like the regular.
I guess for men, we look at it like we didn't ask for that. You know, like we never came together and formed an association and said, we want piercings down low.
Right.
So I don't understand them sometimes.
I'll say what I've noticed is it's more like an empowering thing. Because a lot of times I wax a lot of like friends or like so like best friends, both of them come.
Friend groups.
Or like sisters. Sisters comes, or so a lot of people who are multiple of a same, and a lot of times, like if one has it, the other one will have it, but they went together to get it. So it's kind of like
a bonding.
Kind of like a bonding thing. So that's what I've noticed.
Okay. Question. In your dating life now, is it bad or good? And why? Is it you or them?
That's a good question. Right now, I'll say it to me.
Really? Explain.
My daughter's dad actually passed away. So my 1-year-old, her dad passed away probably like 1.5 years ago. So I'm just not emotionally, I don't think I'm just emotionally available. Right. It's just that there's no connection. I think that's really what it is. It's not like I haven't tried, but there's just like, I'm like, okay.
Do you have a type?
I actually don't have a type.
So if I lined up all the men you've been with, none of them will have any similarities.
You know what? Let me clarify. Okay. I just touched something. Okay. I have a type for a time period.
What?
I think that's what I've noticed. No, seriously. So like for like a span, I'll be like, ooh, yeah, I like tall guys. And then I'll like only like kind of interact with tall guys. And then I'll be like, no, I'm off of that. And then switch to something else. I don't know.
What does your perfect man look like?
Look like?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So with me having not like a specific type, he doesn't look like anything specific, but there are certain qualities.
What qualities does he have?
What qualities does my perfect guy have? Okay. Gentleman. Okay. Good moral compass, because, people's morals be all over the place. Why you look like that? Because you want to say something?
No, I'm not. Go ahead.
family oriented. That's very important to me. Kind, because there's a lot of mean dudes out there. Mean.
Okay.
Okay. Those are like my most important. I mean, there are other ones, honest, you know, though I think those go without saying though, like loyal.
Okay, so when I hear you say that, so those qualities, I hear the boring guy that no one wants to date.
Oh man.
And like I see them in my comments on, you know, social media, and dudes be like, that's me. And nobody, and just
Not too.
go to the next one. Exactly. So it's like, is that the ideal goal? It's like almost like my sister. I remember one time I asked my sister the same question, and she was just like, you know what? I ain't gonna cut the B. I'm gonna cut the BS. I want a thug ass nigga who then got his life saved. And I mean, now he like in church, but he used to be a gangster ass nigga. I want that. And I'd be like, you know, that don't really be out there like that, right? And she's like, that's what I want. And I feel like a lot of women want what they're toxically attracted to, but they don't want the toxicity. But then the toxicity is what maintains that energy that y'all be looking for.
You just said something there. I mean, I want to say I disagree, but I don't think I do.
But I feel like if you go into it knowing that, you can probably try to find something similar. But I think if you go into it sort of lying to yourself about it, you gonna bamboozle yourself into a situation. I'll tell anybody. I like a domestic woman who's also / a porn star, who's a little bit ratchet, but can watch Jeopardy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And actually fill in the stuff.
Yes.
Okay. So intelligent.
Like if she could answer 3 questions out of a Jeopardy episode and throw her ass in a circle, she got me. Okay. And don't let the cornbread be moist. I ain't going nowhere. What I run into is a lot of high caliber women who think they're wives.
Okay.
But haven't even been in a long relationship. They ain't even been in a relationship for 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
What? I'm
going to ask you some questions. You're going to give me some quick answers.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
How important is a man's penis size to you?
Not very.
Really?
No.
Short, big, long, fat preference?
Preference is not too big, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Very.
But you know something? I just talked about this on my live recording. It was a study done, and they basically asked 100 women, what is, you know, the average penis size? And like, the answer was all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. So it's basically built upon experience than actual knowledge. So what would you say if you was to answer that question?
Average? I'm going to say this. So I wax men as well. So let's put that into perspective. And the average penis size is it just is not that big. I feel like big is an outlier. The average is like maybe 3-4
inches.
Yes.
I thought you meant feet. Oh,
shut up. What? No, like, yeah, and that's not that big.
Okay, let me ask you this question. We'll pivot.
Okay.
We're gonna come back. How long should head last?
A long time.
Really?
Yes.
On your end or on my end?
Oh, no, not on my end.
Oh, no. Okay. So if you're doing it.
If I'm doing it, it should last however long until the climax. So I guess that varies.
But see, it's all about purpose too. It's like if you're just giving head to, you know, get the equipment up and running.
It's true. So, right. So, well, let me take that back. So, right. So, however long until you get to what it is you're trying to do. So, if you're just getting it up and running, bam, that's how long you should last.
I think you need to look at the camera and tell women head shouldn't last 30, 40 minutes. A lot of women think that, I give my man head for hours. I'm like, he hates you. I just want you to know that he hates you. Because no man wants to get head for an hour. That just means you're terrible at it.
Oh man.
But you're saying when it's your turn, you want to pull up the easy chair and, take your time.
Yes.
Give me
30
minutes.
Multiple. How much time do I have? I mean.
Okay. So with that being said, how important is that in your relationship?
Very much so.
Have you been with somebody who refused?
When I was younger.
Didn't know how or refused?
No, refused. I feel like head, fellatio, whatever you want to call it, is just way more like widely accepted and like everyone does it now. But when I'm 35, when I was like early 20s, it wasn't like out there as much, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I had someone like, oh, I would do that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
It's funny how people will be like, I don't do that, but you can do me.
True. Right.
That.
Mm-hmm.
So you're over 35. Mm-hmm. How important is it for you to settle down right now?
Right now, not so much. Do I want to? Yes.
Do you think you would control this clock, or?
You know what? No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm in control.
So your hurdle is more so your life circumstances, not really your intent in dating right now.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But in an ideal situation, you want to come out the streets and stop being a city girl.
Oh my gosh. I am not a city girl, but I would like to be in a relationship. But yeah.
You think you're ready?
Do I think I'm ready? That's why I said it's not important right now. So I don't know what is ready. What is ready?
I'm just asking a question because I really don't feel like people who tell me like, oh, I need time, I need this. When you meet the right person, it fits like a puzzle piece.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Legos. Click, click. It goes together.
I agree.
So you try, now don't get me wrong, never stop working on yourself. But you can do that within a relationship.
I agree.
And a relationship can grow with healthy boundaries if you know what those boundaries are.
Right.
That's the really problem. People don't know what their boundaries are. They don't know what their limits are. They're just out here, fucking, sucking, doing whatever, and then scared of the outcome and the fallout of their decisions.
Right.
Once you reach a certain age in life, you have to learn to be accountable for whatever you do, pick, choose, whatever. Mm-hmm. Whether that's, if you pick badly with men, if you pick badly with women, you have to be accountable for it. And then you have to pick better moving forward. But it goes back to the boring guy. Everyone, when they lay out that criteria, the boring guy is what everybody wants. But nobody wants this nigga, for real. Like, nobody wants this nigga at all. I got 2 friends right now who literally have called me in the last 2 weeks and been like, man, I met this guy. On paper, he perfect, but he just don't do it for me. And I'm like, it's you. The last dude you was with nearly killed you.
Oh, man.
The last dude before that was so insecure, he ended up escalating to violent. This dude got a good job from a good family, got a good name in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's on paper that dude. But you telling me he's boring.
Well, because I think there's also a very fine line. Like, you can be great on paper and still be a little spicy. Like, there's a fine line there, because some people are just boring and you're like, well, what the hell? Like, what? I mean, yeah, you're nice and all, but I don't know, like.
But it goes back to your goal in the relationship, though.
Right.
It's like, I want a father for my children. I want a provider. I want a protector. I want a friend. I want a confidant. But it'd be like, more so, people be like, oh, I want a fucking rapper.
Okay.
And it's like, you're probably not going to get both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where you become, you're an adult, you have to make a better decision for it. And the thing is, I always tell people this, your 35-year-old self got to make a decision for your 70-year-old self.
Oh, yeah.
More times than not, the 70-year-old person is like, girl, why do you let Harold go by? So why do you let Harold go by?
I haven't met no Harold.
You ain't met no Harold's. Yeah.
But I'll say this. Okay. I think personally, it's not that, me personally, I'm very honest and I'm very direct and I'm very, if there's something that I'm not messing with that you're doing, like I'm like, hey man, like, I mean, this date was nice and all, but like, how are we gonna do this? Like, I'm very direct. So I feel like for me, I've dated outside of my own box enough, right? Because I feel like we do all, like I said, I don't really have a physical type, but I do feel like I have a personality type, right? So I feel like I've dated outside of my box enough to where in my 30s, I've noticed that like guys just really be set in their ways, right? So like, yeah, you can be a good dude. Like I said, you can be okay. Oh, everything looks really good on paper, but like you like don't hit me up regularly. Or and it'd be like small things, but it's like, hey, if I'm like, hey man, haven't talked to you in a while. What's up? Like, is it something I dare? What's up? They don't change. Like, it's like you're just so set in your ways in your 30s that it's like, well, what the heck? And then you just revert back like, well, you know what? Ray Sean be texting me all day.
Too funny. My mom was like 32 and she married a dude that was like close to 50.
Okay.
And I remember her always saying like, he come home, he eat, he watch TV, he go to sleep on the couch, he go to bed, he wake up and do the same thing the next day. And it infuriated her, like to the point where she ended up leaving him for a dude that was 10 years younger than her.
Oh,
and right. And you know, being a kid in the situation, now being an adult, I do think men I don't think it's set in their ways, because everybody's set in their ways to a certain extent. I think it's programming.
Okay.
Like dudes be programmed, men and women be programmed to do a certain routine. And if they're not cognitively being intentional with what you need in a relationship, if it's just you just become added to the program.
Right.
And so that's why it's so important to have all the right conversations up front. You need to be like, look, I need you to contact me regularly throughout the day. I need to feel that I'm, being pursued.
Right.
Like all of those things need to be spoken up front. Harold needs to know. So when Harold doesn't do them, he's making a conscious decision to just not do them.
Right. Right.
So we can help Harold. Rashawn is just going nut and bounce.
Yeah. I agree. But that's like kind of the pattern. Well, for me, I'll say that. I'll be like, oh, let me step outside the box. And I'll be like, dang.
And then Harold always got a short leash too. Like Harold mess up, it's like Rashawn and broke ribs, ran your car into a fence, everything. And then, but if Harold don't text at 9 a.m., Harold, get your things and leave.
But I can agree. But I think it's also because you're like, and this is my thought process. Maybe not all women's, but mine. Like I'd be like, I wouldn't have even typically talked to you, Harold, and you have the audacity.
But see the thing, okay, in Harold's defense, Harold has more options than you.
Okay.
So Harold in this scenario is probably the prize.
Here's the thing though, that's in your 30s, that's always the back and forth, that's always the dynamic. It's who's the prize? Who's more of a prize? That's what we're fighting for. And it is draining.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
And you got good people who should be able to be together, who aren't together because they're competing for who actually has value.
Literally. I have this conversation with my best friend all the time. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
My only thing I can say is it's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, there are way more females than there are males. There's a million of you. Mm-hmm. There's not that many Harolds. So Harold, it's hard for Harold. I've been Harold. I'm probably still Harold.
Oh, man.
And when I tell you the amount of women is crazy. Like my inbox on TikTok is insane. And I'm just like, really, Miss Gertrude? Like,
man.
I'm like,
flavors.
Yes. I mean, young, old, whatever. And I just hope that the people who's supposed to connect can connect. I don't want to have this conversation with you 10 years from now, 15 years from now. And you like, well, I still don't want to talk to her. Like, we have to make it culminate into something.
Right.
All right. So I want to thank you for coming on. You did a really good job.
Thank you for having me.
Tell the people where they can stay in contact with you.
Okay. You can follow me on TikTok at pink.crayon. And then all my other Instagram, Facebook is all Hair Beware Wax Studio.
Okay. Is there anything you want to say to the people? Like, hi, bye, anything?
Hi. Bye.
And I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This is just another episode of First Off in My Opinion. Available on all platforms. You guys have a wonderful day. Happy holidays.